I slept with him for 3 years. It cost 4 million. Finally, I gave him a refund, but it was only a partial refund. He believed that the child in his belly was a bargaining chip in his efforts to gain power. In my eyes, though, that's just evidence of his breach of contract. I admit I'm a jerk. But in my business acumen, any woman who dares to threaten my family's stability, the price is losing everything one has. In our circle, everyone calls me President's son. I'm rich and good-looking. There's also someone who's been with me every step of the way since I started from scratch. A virtuous wife who takes care of 2 children at home. I've always thought of myself as a man who knows what he wants. I'm living a carefree life outside, but I always get home on time before 10 p.m. every night. I'd buy bags and watches for women outside. But my wedding anniversary every year, diamond ring prepared for my wife. Never cut corners or skimped on quality. I think this is a kind of balance. Until the appearance of Mi Li, this balance has been broken. Today, I'd like to look at things from the perspective of a scumbag. Let me tell you the truth. In the world of some men, emotions have a price tag. And once you want something beyond what's priced there, you can't afford the price. My name is Sun Minghao. 37 years old this year. There are 2 buildings in the technology park south of the city. When I met Millet, I'm 34 and my career is at its peak. At that time, my company had just received its 3rd round of financing. The whole person is full of energy and enthusiasm. Walking with the wind behind me, my wife Wang Zhu and our childhood sweethearts. From elementary school to high school, we're all sitting at the same desk. She understands every look in my eyes. They know I love the steamed buns from that restaurant. They also know all those true and false things about me outside. She never makes a fuss, because she knew. Mrs. Sun's seat, no one else can sit still except her. Getting to know Millet, it's in a live streaming room. That day I came back from social engagements. Drank quite a lot of alcohol. Lying in bed, scrolling through my phone, casually clicked into a live singing stream. Her name is Millet. Just in my early 20s, wearing a white knitted dress, holding a wooden guitar in his arms, sitting on a stool, playing and singing by myself. His voice was very soft and gentle, like the spring breeze caressing the lake surface, clean as a handful of freshly fallen snow. Men after eating too much delicacies from mountains and seas. Occasionally, I see a plate of plain porridge with a few side dishes. Always want to try it. I started boosting his carnival in the live stream. 110, 51s. The screen full of special effects made his face turn completely red. He covered his mouth in surprise, eyes gleaming as they stared at the screen. Then she sweetly said, "Thank you, Minghao." In that instant, I really am tempted. It's a kind of worship that's been long absent. The vanity that's needed. In the marketplace, I'm President's son, the one everyone looks up to. It can be done in that tiny live streaming room. I'm just a man who's willing to spend money on him. We met privately. He's even thinner than he appears on the screen. 1.6 meters tall, less than 90 jin. Speaking in a soft, gentle voice, as if afraid of disturbing someone. First meeting, I took her to a really expensive Japanese restaurant. She sat across from me, eating carefully. I can't even hold the chopsticks properly. I smiled and asked her if she was nervous. She nodded, her face red. That look is truly heart-stirring. She isn't greedy. Once I took her to eat at a night market. She held a string of grilled gluten in her hands. Eyes curved like crescent moons. She said this was the most delicious thing she had ever eaten. I took her to shop at SKP. Buy her a Chanel bag. He asked my brother with great trepidation. "This is too expensive." "I can't have it." "Look, this is what high-end hunters use." The more he refuses, the more I think about it, the more I want to give it. During those 3 years, I spent over $1 million to buy him a single-bedroom apartment. in that new residential complex in the west part of the city. 78 square meters, fully furnished. Check in with luggage in hand, plus usual pocket money and jewelry, and the money to renovate his house. In total, I spent nearly $4 million on him. I admit that during that time, I felt something for him. It's so good that sometimes I'm completely overwhelmed by it myself. He'll be there when I work late into the night. Appeared downstairs at my company carrying a thermos bucket. Inside is the soup he cooked himself. He's a great cook. There's always a lot of seasoning in the soup. Red dates, goji berries, and Cotinopsis pilosula. It's said to help me recover my health. He'll be there during my business trips. Put a little note in my suitcase. It says, "Be careful for your safety," above. I'll miss you. It's all crooked and twisted on its own. Like an elementary school student, I even feel that, if he keeps being this well-behaved, I can take care of him for a lifetime. But women, once you feel that a man truly has feelings for you, that's when an illusion begins to arise. He felt that he was special. He thinks he can rise to power. Degradation begins when the rice grains become pregnant. That day, he held a pregnancy test stick that showed 2 lines. Crying, she rushed into my arms and said, "Brother me how? I'm so scared, but I really love you so much. I want to have a child with you." My heart sank at that moment. It's like a stone has been thrown into a calm lake. The rule has been broken. I lit a cigarette, sat by the bed in silence for a long time. In the haze, I looked at his face, still marked with tears. All I can think about are the consequences. I touched his head and said about having children. It's what a wife should do. But you're not my wife. She raised her head. In those eyes, once as clear as mountain streams, there's a lot of stuff I don't understand. She said I didn't want any formal title or recognition. I just want to keep him with me. From that day on, that obedient and sweet girl gradually disappeared. She started checking my phone. While I was taking a shower, they checked my WeChat. Look who I've liked. Who did I leave a message for? He started to show up around the time I got home. Keep sending voice messages nonstop. One phone call after another, like a deathly ringing bell. At that moment, I was annoyed. I'm also tired of it after just one time. I'm having dinner with Wang Zhu and the child. The phone vibrated 17 times. All messages are just about rice grains. I turned my phone over and placed it on the table. Wang Zhu glanced at me. Didn't say anything. Just picked up a piece of pork rib for my son. Mi Li even started to inquire about Wang Zhu's social circle. She added my friend's WeChat account. She asked Wang Zhu in a roundabout way where she usually goes for beauty treatments, where to pick up the child. One day I was celebrating my child's birthday with them. The candles were just lit on the cake. The phone lit up. It's a photo sent by Millie. In the photo is her protruding belly. His belly is already quite noticeable. Round and plump. It's like there's a tiny watermelon stuffed in there. The caption says baby. He said he also wanted his dad to be with him on his birthday. I stared at that photo for 3 seconds, then sneered, turned off the phone. I gave him a chance. I gave him 500,000. Let him take care of it. Then everyone parted ways in a proper manner. Kemi Lee felt that the chips in her hand were sufficient. He probably thought that Wang Zhu is a housewife who only stays at home to take care of her children. Cowardly and easy to bully.
And I?
Surely they'll compromise over this so-called illegitimate child. He's wrong. He doesn't understand men at all. Especially men like me who've made it from the bottom up. People like us. What really matters isn't women. It's not about feelings. It's a land we gained at the cost of half our lives. That Saturday afternoon, I'm discussing matters with a client at the golf course. Wang Zhu called me. The voice was surprisingly calm. She said, "Hello to you. There are guests at home. Come back for a visit." I could tell something was wrong from her tone of voice. That kind of calmness is more terrifying than fury. I apologized to the client. "Drive home. I smoked 3 cigarettes along the way. My mind is filled with countless possibilities. When I pushed open the door of my house, I saw Millet sitting on my family's leather sofa. He was wearing a loose floral dress. The belly is already quite noticeable. No makeup on the face. The lips are a bit pale. She was holding that pregnancy test in her hand. The report's complexion was pale, yet with a resolute determination to go all out, no matter the consequences. Wang Zhu sat across from her, holding a cup of black tea in my hand. As always, elegant. She was wearing pajamas. Hair was casually tied up at the back of the head. Looks like a gentle housewife. But I know. Her heart must be in turmoil right now. The living room is very quiet. Only the clock on the wall kept ticking away. The air seemed to have frozen. It's so oppressive that one can't breathe. Brother Minghao, I really have no other choice. As soon as Millet sees me, he rushes over to me. When she stood up, holding my stomach with my hands, I can't let my child grow up without a father. I looked at her. That sense of pity and longing from once upon a time. At that moment, it became disgusting. It's truly physical nausea. I feel a tightness in my throat. The stomach is churning.
He ruined the family peace I had maintained for over a decade.
He laid my dirty secrets bare in front of my wife. Wang Zhu glanced at me. That glance held disappointment. Irony. There's also that kind of indifference from which I wonder how you'll extricate yourself. She didn't cry. There was no commotion at all. Not even any increase in volume. She just sat there quietly. It's like watching a play that has nothing to do with me. I ignored Mili's crying. Instead, he went over to Wang Zhu's side. In front of Millet, I took my wife's hand and said, "Honey, I was wrong all these years. I always stay clean when I go out and play. This time it was my negligence. I'll take care of it." Mili was stunned. Her face went from pale to deathly pale. The lips started to tremble. Tears streamed down in big drops. She screamed, "Son Minghao, what did you say? You started it with me. You said you loved me." I turned my head, looking at him coldly. His tears mean nothing to me anymore. I said, "Rice grains. You really have to make things so ugly, don't you? We could have parted ways in a proper manner. You can also get what you want. Since you've chosen to burn bridges with me, then don't blame me for not holding on to feelings." That day, Millet left my house crying. She stood at the door for a long time before leaving. He glanced at me again. I'll never forget that look in his eyes in my entire life. There's hatred and there's unwillingness to accept defeat. There's also a deep sense of despair. Wang Zhu never got up at all. She sat on the sofa and finished the cup of black tea. What happens next? Like a carefully orchestrated movie, I and Wang Zhu deeply repented for 3 nights. I've spent these years, every penny that Mili took from me, every bill, every transaction record, every single real estate purchase contract, everything was handed over to Wang Zhu. I said to Wang Zhu, "Wife, this money is meant to be saved for the children. It can't be cheaper for outsiders. Go ahead and sue me. Reclaim all marital property in the spouse's name." Wang Zhu is a smart woman. She knows she should not fight for a divorce with me at this time. It will only be cheaper for outsiders. She chose to stand on my side. Because to preserve one's property, that's the only way to ensure her and the child's future. He even helped me find the best lawyer. That lawyer's last name is Zhou, specializes in handling divorce and adultery-related lawsuits. It's said he's never lost once. In court, Mili cried so much she became unrecognizable. She was wearing a black dress. The hair is all messy. My eyes are red and swollen, like 2 peaches. She thought it was a gift of love. But before the law, that's a gift that violates public order and good morals. It constitutes an invalid act. When the judge pronounces the verdict, Mili was completely exhausted. He leaned back in his chair. My lips keep trembling. The small apartment he bought was taken back. The deposits in her name have been frozen. Her expensive handbags and jewelry, all were required to be returned at a discounted price. 3 years. She paid the price of a miscarriage, sacrificed one's reputation, gave away my youth. In the end, she didn't get a single penny. Also apologized and paid Wang Zhu hundreds of thousands in compensation. This is the full refund I gave her. Many people would say, Sun Minghao, you really are worthless. I admit it. But I really want to tell those girls who are like grains of rice. Never try to challenge a man's limits. Especially that bottom line. When it comes to his family's wealth and reputation, in a man's logic, women outside are just part of the scenery. The wife at home is the foundation of the household. The scenery can be changed. If the foundation moves, the entire building will collapse. The day Mi Li left, blocking me downstairs from the company. It rained heavily that day. He stood in the rain without an umbrella, completely soaked through. He's so thin he's skin and bones. The cheekbones are protruding. There's not a hint of light in his eyes anymore, like a lamp that has gone out. He asked me about Sun Minghao. Have you ever had even a tiny bit of sincerity towards me? I looked at her. The rain streamed down her hair. My feelings are very complicated. For a moment, I remembered 3 years ago. That girl in the white dress playing the guitar. That one holding the grilled gluten. The girl whose eyes curved into crescents when she smiled. But in the end, I only said rice grain. If you keep behaving nicely all the time, that house is still yours now. You yourself have pushed yourself into a corner. She smiled in a pitiful manner. Rain mixed with tears streamed down her face. She turned around and walked away. Stepping into the rain, walking down that busy street, soon disappeared into the crowd. The me of now. It's still President Sun who's achieved great success in his career. My relationship with Wang Zhu is even better than before, because he has more of my Barbies in his hands. And I'm even more willing to let him instill those ideas in me. This is reality. Men can play around as much as they want, but the family is always the bottom line. It's not because of how much I love them. It's because of interests. So, ladies, don't go near that man who already has a family. The tenderness he gives you, it's sugar-coated poison. The money he gave you, it's an option that's been watered down with less value due to added water. When he wanted to recycle it, that day you were covered in wounds. You can't take anything with you. I'm Sun Minghao, a real jerk in real life. I finished telling this story. Did you understand? My husband spent 4 million on that girl over 3 years. He thought he could gain status through his mother and son. In the end, I took away his 3 years of youth, only got a full refund in return. You see, this is the price of being a third party. I've always known that my husband, Sun Minghao, has a woman elsewhere. This isn't unusual in our circle. I didn't choose to cry, make a scene, or hang myself. Rather turn a blind eye. It's not because I'm weak, because I know better than anyone. Half of Sun Minghao's empire was conquered by me. He's so smart. I know what's important and what's not. I figured it out long ago. Men like him, even without a single grain of rice, there will also be others. The reason I've been able to tolerate it all these years, it's because all those women before were well-behaved and obedient. Just looking to make some money never crosses my limits. But the rice grains are not the same. She absolutely shouldn't have done that at all. He set his sights on my child. This is the real reason why he must refund the money. My name is Wang Zhu, 36 years old this year. She's the mother of 2 children. There are also those 2 technology parks in the southern part of the city. Co-founder of the office building. In the eyes of outsiders, I'm a gentle housewife, spending every day around the children and the stove, knows nothing about her husband's extramarital affairs. But in reality, every transaction of this company, every contract, even every penny Sun Minghao spent on women outside, I've made backups as well. I've known Sun Minghao since elementary school. Back then, he was as thin as a bamboo pole. Being trapped in the bathroom by older students who demanded money, I rushed in and told those people to leave. We were desk mates for 12 years. From elementary school to high school, I watched him grow from a thin, frail boy, becoming a spirited young man. Also looking at him, from a poor kid who started from scratch, President's son who now owns a fortune worth over 100 million. The year of marriage. He said it in front of all the elders and young people of the clan. Wang Zhu will marry me in this lifetime. It's my greatest fortune, so I'll never let him suffer even the slightest bit in my lifetime. When he said these words, the eye sockets are red. I believe it. Later, when he had his first woman outside of marriage, I also believe he's telling the truth. It's just that a person's true feelings can be divided into many parts. The name Millie was heard by me for the first time. It was my best friend Zhao Min who told me. Zhao Min's big mouth. I came across Sun Minghao on TikTok. For a little streamer named Millet, spent 50 on the carnival. I was in the kitchen making soup at that time. The spoon in my hand paused for a moment, then continued to stir the ribs in the pot as if nothing happened. 50 carnivals are nothing but a drop in the bucket compared to the overall amount. I smiled. Tell Jiang Min to let him go. After all, men need some way to pass the time when socializing outside. When Millet moved into Chengxi's new apartment complex, I found out in the 3rd month. Zhao Liu, Sun Minghao's driver, is my cousin. That kid pays every month. They'll also include Sun Minghao's itinerary and detailed expenses. Send me a copy. This is what I arranged when I brought him into the company back then. It's all taken care of. Paid in full for over 1 million single apartment units. The names of the rice grains written down. That night, Sun Minghao arrived home on time at 10 o'clock. Brought a bouquet of roses. Sighed I saw it on the way. Bought it because I thought it looked nice. I took the flowers. Smiling, I said, "Thank you, honey." When turning around to insert it into the vase, I smelled a perfume that wasn't mine. It's a very mild, sweet, and cloying scent meant for girls. Like low-quality cream. In my heart, I think, rice grains. Oh, rice grains. If you only take this house, just be a good little canary for you. I won't touch you. But you absolutely shouldn't do that. Should never have happened. You shouldn't have your eyes set on my child. Sun Minghao felt, I have to take care of 2 children at home. She's just an old woman with a yellow face who's always around the stove. He probably forgot. When the company was first founded, it's just me alone. The approval for developing the land in the South City Science and Technology Park has been obtained. I endured the scorching 40-degree sun, stood at the district government entrance for 3 hours, just to get rid of that deputy district head in charge of urban development. I used 3 cups of baijiu. From the words of a developer, revealed the competitors' bottom prices. When I gave birth to my eldest child in the delivery room, the cervix is dilated to 7 fingers. Also received a call from a client. Sun Minghao has a woman outside. It's not because I'm not good enough, but it's because I've devoted all my energy to taking care of my home. Leave the country in his hands to protect. But that doesn't mean I won't take it back. Millie's increasingly aggressive messages. It's reached me through various channels. Jiang Ming said he was at a dinner party. Hearing someone mention Millie's name, he claims to everyone that he's President's son's girlfriend. Also said that they would be moving into the villa soon. The principal of my son's kindergarten. Once they mentioned it to me in a polite manner. I heard that a young woman recently inquired about my son. I'm not afraid of him. I'm afraid he'll hurt my child. A woman who's willing to be at a man's wife's doorstep. The woman squatting there. Where is her bottom line? No one knows. I started collecting information about rice grains. Everything about him. His hometown is a small county in northern Jiangsu. Both parents are ordinary workers. After graduating from college, he went to the city to work. Have worked as a front desk clerk. Sold clothes before. Later, I started doing live broadcasts. Apart from that apartment in his name, he doesn't own anything else. There's also a car worth 200,000. It was also bought by Sun Minghao. The pocket money he gets from Sun Minghao every month, probably between 30,000 and 50,000. After 3 years, including the house and car, the total amount is nearly 4 million. I organized these data into a folder. The insurance items kept in the study, stored together with the property deed and equity agreement in the cabinet. That Saturday afternoon, it was the turning point for everything. That day, I was in the living room helping my younger son build with blocks. The doorbell rang. The nanny goes to open the door. A young woman stood at the door, wearing a floral dress, belly bulging, holding a piece of paper in my hand. His eyes were red. The lips are trembling, but the expression on his face was resolute, like a gambler who's betted all his chips. He glanced at the nanny. They said I was looking for Mrs. Sun. At that moment, I recognized him as Millet, slimmer than in the live stream, look more haggard in person than in the photos. I asked the nanny to take the child upstairs, then invite him in to sit. He sat on my leather sofa at home, looking at the crystal chandelier and imported furniture in the living room. There's something indescribable in their eyes. It's like jealousy. It seems like hatred, too. I poured him a cup of black tea. He didn't answer, so he slapped the paper on the coffee table. It's a pregnancy test report. It says his name and the gestational age there. It's been 20 weeks, he said, Mrs. Sun. I'm pregnant with your husband's child. When he said these words, their eyes were fixed intently on me, like waiting for a reaction. He probably thought I'd cry or make a scene. We'll go hysterical. She'd rush at him like a shrew and pull out his hair. But I don't have it. I picked up the teacup. Take a slow sip. The tea is Lapsang Souchong. It's a bit hot, so I blew on it. Then put down the cup. Smiled at him. I said I understand. Then he froze. He must have prepared a lot to say. I've thought of countless possible reactions from me, but I never thought I'd remain so calm. His lips trembled a few times. The eye sockets began to turn red. The voice also had a crying tone to it. He said that how would be responsible for me. He said he loved me. He said he would give the child a proper name. I looked at her belly, that raised curve, flickering beneath the floral dress. What I was thinking was, this woman is really... That fool thought the baby in her womb was some kind of bargaining chip. But she didn't know. In the world of people like us, illegitimate children have never been bargaining chips. It's a bomb. Whoever takes it out will die first. He said he wanted to meet Sun Minghao. I said he's out discussing matters. I'll call him and tell him to come back for you. I dialed Sun Minghao's number. Just said 2 words and came back. He didn't ask why. He knows that I only do so in matters that truly matter. That's why I speak to him in this tone. During those 20 minutes while Sun Minghao was away, you're sitting upright on the sofa, like a cat with its fur tousled, restless, unable to sit still.
He checks his phone from time to time.
I'll look out the window in a moment. After a while, she lowered her head again and touched her stomach. I sat across from him, quietly drinking tea. My mind is racing. I wonder how far this woman will go. She came today with the sole intention of forcing a palace coup. I brought something else instead. Did he record it? Were any photos taken? Have you sent anyone today's events? Did he contact anyone on his way here? However, I was overthinking it all. He's still too young, too naive. He just showed up at Palace B without any preparation at all. When Sun Minghao entered the door, sweat covered his face. I haven't even changed into my golfing clothes. Still holding the golf club in hand, the moment he saw the rice grains, the face went from rosy to deathly pale. Then it changed from iron blue color to a deathly pale shade. That process was as fast as a face-changing trick. His gaze swept over me. With a hint of guilt, looked at the rice grains again. Finally, it landed on that pregnancy test report. I watched him. He looked at me. That moment, there's a kind of understanding between us that only husbands and wives can truly grasp. I could see his panic. He also noticed my composure. And my calmness only made him more panicked. Because he knew. Wang Zhu is most terrifying when she doesn't cry or make a fuss. Sun Minghao is a smart person. He immediately understood. Walking over, he took my hand and said, "Wife, I was wrong. This time, I didn't handle things properly." I blamed myself, then turned to look at Millet. The tone isn't as gentle as before. "Are you really determined to make things so embarrassing, Meili? We could have parted ways in a proper manner. Since you've chosen to burn bridges, then don't blame me for not holding on to feelings." The rice grains have collapsed. She cried and shouted, "Sun Minghao! You bastard, you said you'd be good to me. You said I was your favorite person." His voice was very loud. So loud that the children upstairs could hear it too. I heard my eldest son call out, "Mom," at the top of the stairs. The nanny quickly picked him up and took him away. At that moment, something inside me broke. You can touch my husband. You can touch my money. But you can't let my child hear these things. That day, Millet left crying. She stood at the door for a long time. Glanced back at Sun Minghao. There was hatred in that look. There's not only unwillingness, but also a desperate plea for help. He probably still holds a glimmer of hope. Hope, Sun Minghao will soften his heart. We'll chase after them. Sun Minghao didn't touch him. Didn't even look at him. After the door closed, the living room remained quiet for a long time. The clock on the wall kept ticking away. Step by step. It's like counting down for something to happen. I sat down, picking up that now cold cup of red tea again, tasted a sip. Then, looking at Sun Minghao, I asked him if he knew that he was coming. "How long did you squat outside the kindergarten?" Sun Minghao's expression completely changed. The next 3 days, it was the 3 most honest days we've had as a married couple in over a decade. Sun Minghao took care of everything. How did I meet Millet? How much money was spent? What did I buy? He kept a record of every transaction. He even remembered it. The restaurant where I took her for Japanese food for the first time. What's your name? That's just how men are. They think remembering these details means having deep feelings. In our eyes, though, that's just testimony given in court. I didn't mention divorce to him. Jiang Ning asked me why I didn't leave. I said I got divorced. Take half of the property for oneself. He took the other half to find Millet. Then the rice grains moved into my house. Sleep in my bed. Spend my money. Raising my child. Why should I, Wang Zhu, have to endure eating anything in this lifetime? It's just that you won't suffer any losses. I've contacted Attorney Zhou, that female lawyer who specializes in handling disputes over marital property, from case filing to trial. It only took 4 months. During these 4 months, Meili's child wasn't saved. I don't know if it's due to too much stress or something else. She went for an abortion. I heard this from Zhao Ming. Zhao Ming said that Meili was hospitalized for half a month. So thin that it's unattractive to look at. I remained silent for a long time after hearing that. Saying that there's not the slightest ripple in my heart at all. That's fake. Anyway, in any case, that's a life that's about to come into this world. On the day of the trial, Millie is here. She was wearing black clothes, so thin that all that's left are bones. The eyes were deeply sunken, like 2 black holes. She sat in the defendant's seat, trembling from start to finish. Tears never stopped flowing. Attorney Zhou presented the evidence one by one. Transfer records, property purchase contract, chat screenshots. Every one of them is as clear as if cut with a knife. When the judge pronounced the verdict, he said, "Those gifts violated public order and good morals. All invalid. The apartment under Meili's name needs to be returned. The deposit needs to be recovered. All bags and jewelry will be compensated at a discounted price. In the end, after all the calculations, he didn't get anything at all. Still owe me hundreds of thousands. He slumped in his chair, lips trembling. Can't say a single word. I'm sitting in the auditorium, wearing my best Chanel coat. The hair is combed to perfection. I looked at how he looked. There's no joy of victory in my heart. There's only one kind of complicated heartache. I'm thinking, what if I were like him too? In my early 20s, met a wealthy man. Will I also end up on this path? But I know one thing very well. A woman. If one were to put all one's hopes in life, place one's hopes on a man, then he's essentially tying himself to someone else's ship. When the ship sank, he can't even swim. Me and San Ming, how now? On the surface, it's better than before. He comes home on time every day, taking the kids to the amusement park on the weekend. Surprises for wedding anniversaries are prepared a week in advance. He changed his phone password to my birthday. All my female friends on WeChat want me to take a look at their profiles. Location will be shared during business trips. Video call for social gatherings. He thought this was a sign that he was being kind to me. But I know. It's just what he owes me.
And I?
Holding in his hands all the secrets about him from over the past decade. From the first infidelity to the last. From the first transfer to the last. I've made backups as well. I don't know how to use these things. But they're my last line of defense. I didn't forgive him. I simply chose not to get a divorce. Not getting a divorce isn't because of continued love. It's because after falling out of love, one figures this all out carefully. It turns out that staying together is more cost-effective than parting ways. This is reality. Marriage in the end. It's not about love at all. It's the brain that does all of this. Girls, please don't imitate those rice grains. Don't try to copy me either. Don't become that kind of person who waits for men to show them kindness. Don't be that kind of wife who only pays attention to half of what's going on. The best way to live. It's about taking one's destiny into one's own hands. When you yourself are the one who can rely on. No one can bring you down, not even if they try.